Alrighty then, it's time for a Jungle Fiddlesticks game. Let's get the show on the road. What's going on? So yeah, I'm right now sorta sticking with my classic champions, because I still don't know the meta. As I was told from the last video, apparently a lot of the top contenders were nerfed, and not a lot of significant changes to the season have made an effect on a lot of junglers. I do know that Jungle Karthus, even after he got nerfed, is still, I guess, gliding about. But yeah. Also, in this game, I'm fighting against the Jungle Twitch, who is extremely obsessed with mid lane. And a small spoiler alert: my mid lane is not smart enough to deal with him. I mean, he's not gonna get killed because the Twitch is pretty silly, but the Silas keeps putting himself in a position where it's making me paranoid, so I'm constantly hovering around mid lane just trying to do something. In this case here, I go for the Lux, fear her, throw my little ghosty, or my little crow. It does not bounce multiple times on her, so it takes a little while to kill her, and I got really clutch and, making sure Silas survived. Twitch tries to gank Silas again, and essentially Twitch is really behind in terms of power in comparison to me. I don't know what he's trying to achieve at this point, because he's put himself behind considerably. That said, though, team comp wise, the enemy team has a pretty sturdy one if it got to a point where Nasus would be big enough. But but my team has the ability to absolutely destroy him, control him, kill him, as long as the Darius doesn't get bogged down by the ranged characters in the Lux. The biggest threat to my team is the Nami's ability to disengage us, and the Lux annihilating us if if any one of us gets caught. So it's a little bit sketchy. I mean, I'm gonna be building AP first, AP and magic penetration first, rather than hourglass. It's always a toss-up between what you want to rush versus Fiddlesticks, since your gold kind of relies on murdering people. Anyways, my Silas gets ganked, and instead of running to me, safety, he decides to go back in and just pretty much die. I kill this ward because it would give me level 6. I run back because I thought maybe the Twitch would get a little bit closer, and he does. I immediately ult him, and I don't know if that was warded because he threw his little smoke bomb at me, but he got himself killed. He super underestimated the amount of damage I could do, and I think the Lux did too. So I got myself a pretty cheapy little kill there. So now that my ultimate is activated, you can tell I'm going to try to just annihilate anyone I can. My bottom lane is not having too many issues, but I knew they were probably going to get ganked by Twitch, so I made my way down there, scared them off, and then a really haphazard situation here. The Thresh goes in a little bit too quickly, or at least poorly. He shouldn't have used his Q. He should just probably, sprung his E on them. So he got himself killed. I'm forced to escape and I got it really low. Silas comes in and fails trying to kill the Nami, and then the Twitch comes in too, and a tiny little brawl ensues. Nothing much comes of it yet. So I stick around here just to give the Tristana some backup, because I figured the Twitch was going to try to do something to her, but surprisingly the Jinx positioned herself in a really, really poor way, and I was able just to catch her and eventually kill her. It took a while. The explosion from Tristana would have done her in anyways, and we also got a kill on the Nami. The Lux and the Nasus come at me, but I can just suck them to survive. They don't have enough damage because the Nasus has not been farming properly, and the Lux was out of mana, so I don't know what they thought to achieve. This is kind of something that a lot of low elo people do. Right now I'm playing my placement matches, and since I haven't been playing in 2 months, on this account I'm on the dregs right now. The dregs, is that right? Of elo, where I'm playing against a lot of players who are low division and that kind of stuff. This Nasus, by just being here, I don't know what he's thinking of achieving, but he puts himself desperately behind. Look at the difference in power between him and Darius now. Nasus, every minute he wastes somewhere else, not achieving anything, puts him behind. A lot of players do this thing where they think that presence and kills and they have to actively be achieving something like getting kills and whatnot is how you play this game. No, if you play a champion like Nasus, you gotta stick your ass in the lane and farm that up. That's your objective, as much as it might make you feel useless. And if you constantly feel like you're not like here, he dives, and sure, he does get the kill on the Darius, but him dying is just making the Darius even stronger, and again losing him more CS, more siphoning strike. Again, It's just if you're not comfortable playing a champion or you're not patient enough to play certain champions, you shouldn't. They're not really your type. Here, I park my ass to try to use my ultimate on somebody, and I'm pretty much trapped. So I just try to blitz out of that, or like, make as much distance as possible. But then my team decides to sort of kind of fight it, and I go in and I actually didn't even know that the Twitch was around. That was my mistake. If it wasn't, I probably would have killed the Nessus and maybe scampered off. But that was a lot of misplay from the Thresh and from myself as well. So, or from me, in English correctly. So this game is kind of bad so far for my team, even though it might not look it might look differently. I mean, the Darius dominating is a big, very really important thing. But, I haven't seen him really deal with any adversaries, so maybe the enemy team can control him. My team right now isn't doing so hot as much as I thought because the Silas is a handicap. And the Thresh hasn't been making the best of plays, so I can't really trust him to follow up when I go in with my ultimate. So now I was going to be buying mostly AP, so I'm going to complete the book item, and then be buying the Hourglass afterwards to make up for that. Here, by the way, like, it's pretty easy. Like, say Thresh failed, but it doesn't matter. The Jinx put herself in a really stupid position. Because, again, just, you can't see it in all chat, but she's mad that I'm camping her. But if you make it so easy to be killed by someone, expect that to happen. Also, the Thresh engaged on that and got himself killed. I mean, we did get a kill, but it shouldn't have been that level of overcommitment. But yeah, The Darius dominating and getting the aggro from the enemy team and eventually getting killed is good in all honesty. So we've got the top lane more or less secure. Their Nasus is pretty much worthless. My worry is that the Twitch, despite the fact that he's doing a lot of dumb shit, is going to scale up at some point. Again, he didn't do that well early game, but after a lot of bad calls from me and some of my other teammates, we fed him some kills. And it doesn't matter how many, how poorly he did or the fact that his score isn't that amazing. If the fact that I have a bit of dead weight on my team makes him sort of look better or something like that. Essentially, what he'll contribute is likely more than what Silas will contribute. That's what I'm trying to say. So it worries me. So my goal this game now, I mean, it kind of was already, but my goal now is to make sure I kill either the Jinx or the Twitch. Just sit on top of them and destroy them. Or the Lux, if I can kill her before she pops anybody. I go in with my ultimate, do quite a bit of damage, but I suffer here from the fact that I don't think my team reacted quick enough, but at the same time, I didn't give them enough notification that I was going to do that. I probably should have tried dodging the Jinx's W to not reveal me so she can put herself in an even better position for me to go in. So that was mostly my fault. So I'll take that as my responsibility. And it's pretty bad because it gives them a better edge for the next coming team fights. But if you haven't noticed, like at this point, my fears of the enemy team being better are diminishing. Their item choices are really bad. They while I was streaming this, I was commenting on how the AD carries are being absolutely giga melted or controlled or bothered by my CC and my ability to just destroy them. They don't bother to buy anything that can help them against that. The Jinx could have bought a cleansing item. The Lux could have bought whatever that thing is called. I forgot it already. The one that builds out of the Catalyst of the Protector. I think so. Well, essentially, any kind of spell resistance, just magic resistance. They could have bought something like that, but they don't. Like right there, the Jinx has an Infinity Edge and a Ruden's Hurricane, and instead of buying something that would help her not die against me, she's buying more damage items. Same thing with the Lux. And the Twitch, she's got a weird build, so at this point, like, for however much of a comeback he was making, I'm just a little bit like, why? That's not really all that useful. I mean, to control Darius, possibly, but to survive against me, pretty much no. Also, they just kind of gave us Baron, so the enemy team is extremely confused, no doubt. So, at this point, you can see I have the Hourglass. I can make myself extremely strong. I ult the Jinx, and I just straight out walk towards the Twitch, not stopping to do anything to the Jinx, because I knew she was going to die just by my teammates, and that way I was able to catch the Twitch and make sure he died too. So 2 kills for that. We're able to get a tower, and the enemy team can't really stop us. I love this scene here where the Lux goes full on blast on me, and I just hourglass that, making her ability to stop this push even worse. We get this tower, and then we back off a bit. And here's where the team sort of kind of starts, doing their own things. I back off because I need to heal something, and my teammates don't let me, drain anything. Some of my teammates keep pushing forward, and so I'm forced to come back to try to save them. I think my team is able to survive though, but except the Tristana, she gets her face beaten. So yeah, my team now has the mostly advantage. I think it's still up in the air whether or not we'll fall behind because of some bad decisions a few players can make. Here, I love this. At this point, I think they're finally starting to respect me, but they're not respecting me enough to buy items that would actually help them survive. I mean, even the Nasus doesn't have the means to, not die to me. So it's making my early purchase even more deadly. Here I love this part. Even though it's not the best result, Silas gets caught. He's a very low value target, but they put themselves in a poor position, and then they do catch me. But I can get the Jinx and destroy her and cause a little bit of disarray on the enemy team. I do get killed, and I do believe but I do believe my team comes out ahead of this. It's 1 for 3, so perfect, almost perfect. Hell, the Silas even survived. So again, as long as I can kill the Jinx, we should be totally fine. The Twitch just kind of dies because he tries to position himself in a way to make his ultimate super valuable. Surprisingly, though, the enemy team doesn't respect the fact that my team can catch them, so we got an extra flash there, and we got the Nami kill, so hooray for us. So next tower goes down, and now we have we pretty much kind of won, because at this point the enemy team has proven that they're not really working cohesively. Their team comp can no longer deal with me because they didn't bother to buy anything to deal with me. I don't think they're warding as best as they could, and even then I bought a red trinket a lot earlier than I tend to, and for solo queue I mean, just so I can deal with that. Good times. Again though, I gotta stress out. Look at their item build. I don't even know if my Chaos Crucible is still a thing, but if anything, maybe the Nami could have done it just to help them. Here, I love this little moment. And I stopped my drain on the Twitch just so I could throw my Crow, because it's going to bounce on Nasus and everybody else to silence them so they aren't as effective. I ult right behind them. I put myself in the middle just sort of to try to, kill the... I was trying to wound the Jinx and trying to kill the Lux, but thankfully doing so kept me alive enough to just suck Lux to death, and then get the rest of them killed. I really like that ultimate, but I really like that Dark Wind even better. It pretty much helped shut down some of their abilities to reinforce their teammate. I'm pretty sure Ness would have died, but that was very clean. So hooray for Fiddlesticks, and hooray for bad item choices. And if you liked this video, remember to give it a like. And if you aren't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure to hit the little bell up there somewhere so you actually get notifications to my videos, because YouTube and stuff.